"Get her out! Get her out now!" The words shattered the quiet of the night shift like gunfire. Security boots slammed the hallway, radios screeched with static, and fists pounded the crash room doors. The sterile white walls shook with violence as men stormed in, their voices sharp, their eyes blazing, their bodies ready to drag the black nurse away like she was the threat. But Angela Morris, calm, steady, unflinching, kept her hands on the chest of a dying man. Sweat streaked her forehead, latex gloves smeared with blood, the defibrillator humming beside her. Around her was chaos, but inside her was focus. Every push against his rib cage, every shock she prepared, was a defiance against death itself. Yet the voices grew louder, drowning reason. To them, she wasn't a nurse. She wasn't a savior. She was a black woman in scrubs, stepping beyond her place. And as alarms wailed and security rushed closer, one truth threatened to tear the night apart. Prejudice was moving faster than mercy. Before we dive in, what country are you watching from? Drop it on the comments, and if you haven't subscribed yet, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because this isn't just a story. It's a war between ignorance and humanity, and only one side walked out victorious. Angela Morris had always been the type of nurse people overlooked. She wasn't loud. She wasn't someone who demanded praise. Her 32 years on Earth had taught her that the world rarely noticed women like her unless something went wrong. She carried herself with quiet strength, her brown skin glowing softly under fluorescent lights, her braids tied back neatly so they wouldn't get in the way when she worked. Her shift usually began in silence. She'd walk past the polished administrators with their clipboards, past the interns whispering nervously, past the other nurses who shared polite smiles but not friendship. Angela didn't care for recognition. Her satisfaction lived in the steady breathing of a newborn she helped deliver, the calm sigh of a patient she comforted, the flicker of life returning to a body slipping away. But in the hierarchy of the hospital, she was just a name on a chart. When credit was given, it flowed upward, to doctors who never left their offices, to interns eager to shine, to nurses who didn't look like her. Angela never complained. She carried the weight of knowing her worth wasn't measured by applause, but by lives saved. That night, however, would change everything. A shift that began like any other would end with sirens, shouting, and a battle that forced everyone to see her for who she truly was. The emergency alarms cut through the air without warning. Room 417, a cardiac arrest. The patient was a wealthy businessman, one of the hospital's priority cases. His name carried weight. His health carried politics. Angela ran before others could process. She burst into the room where panic was already blooming. Interns fumbled with paperwork, another nurse froze at the foot of the bed, and the patient's wife screamed at anyone who moved too slowly. His chest was still, his skin pale, his heartbeat slipping away. The attending physician wasn't there yet. Minutes felt like hours. Angela knew the cruel math. Without intervention, the man had only seconds. She moved instinctively, her training, her experience, her compassion guiding her. She grabbed the crash cart, checked vitals, prepared the defibrillator. Her movements were fast but precise, fueled by urgency, yet grounded in calm. But the wife saw something different. She saw a black nurse taking charge, making decisions, commanding attention. To her, Angela wasn't a savior, she was an intruder. Suspicion twisted into hostility. She shouted accusations, demanded to know why this nurse was touching her husband, demanded someone with authority take over. That voice carried weight. Within moments, a call went out for security. The attending physician stormed in at that exact moment, his coat flaring behind him. His eyes took in the scene in an instant. The revived patient gasping for breath, the wife pale and shaken, the guards restraining the nurse who had saved his life. Shock turned to fury. He demanded Angela's release, his voice echoing like thunder. In that frozen moment, the truth was undeniable. Every machine in that room, every nurse who had watched silently, every second recorded in hospital logs, they all testified to one fact. Angela had saved the man. The guards stepped back, ashamed. The wife stammered, her authority shattered. The staff murmured among themselves, whispers of guilt, shame, and awe filling the corners of the room. Angela said nothing. She simply adjusted her gloves, checked the patient's vitals again, and carried on with the same quiet strength. But the hospital would never forget what happened. The days that followed were filled with tension. The administration scrambled, desperate to protect their image. The wife tried to spin her words, claiming she felt unsafe. But the evidence was against her. Video cameras, medical logs, eyewitnesses, every detail showed the truth. Angela was offered apologies, but apologies felt hollow. No apology could erase the humiliation of being treated like a criminal for saving a life. No apology could undo the memory of hands grabbing her as she fought death itself. And yet, Angela didn't crumble. She didn't demand revenge. She walked back into her next shift with the same quiet dignity, the same calm strength, the same unwavering commitment. She knew the world might never fully see her, but she also knew that she had forced them to witness what could not be denied. Those who had seen the scene in room 417 could no longer overlook her. When they passed her in the halls, their eyes lingered. When she entered a room, silence fell, because they knew. They had seen the woman the world tried to erase stand tall in the face of hate and win. Angela didn't wear medals. She didn't seek headlines. She wore scrubs, and she carried a truth that burned brighter than any award. She was the one who saved lives, even when the world tried to destroy hers. And that night, under the fluorescent lights of a hospital that nearly betrayed her, Angela Morris proved one thing. Heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear scrubs. Sometimes they look like the very people society tries to silence. If you believe her story deserves to be heard, drop a comments. Share this video so the world never forgets what happened. And most importantly, subscribe. Because every time we bring you the stories of courage, injustice, and triumph that others try to bury, this isn't just a story, it's a reminder. The next time you see a nurse, remember, you might be looking at the one person who could save your life.